Hey, what's up, everybody? Fred Noe here, and I'm going to be tasting this little Knob Creek 18-year-old. And first of all, I have to say that to all my fellow Oklahoma State fans out there, we'll get through this. We'll be all right. I just saw that we are ranked 11th still. So, in the grand scheme of our program, that ain't that bad. That ain't that bad at all. Come to think of it, like, if you would have told me that we would still be ranked 11th after losing to TCU like that, that would have shocked the shit out of me. Absolutely shocked the shit out of me. But, that's the ways of college football. A lot of great programs lost yesterday. Alabama, of course. I did a little short on that. What do you all think of those shorts? YouTube's really encouraging us to do more of those shorts. I guess it's kind of a way to compete with TikTok or something. So if you have an idea for something that you would like to see me say or do in under 60 seconds, put it in the comment section. I would actually really like to know. I could use your feedback on that. And I'd like to use that to do more than just whiskey stuff, by the way. But, a lot of great programs lost. USC lost, which that was an amazing win by Utah. Talk about a gutsy move going for 2 instead of that. Whew, crazy. Anyway, you all are here to see me taste this Knob Creek 18-year-old. Little comment about the hat I'm wearing. This is Mick Fleetwood's hat, Mick Fleetwood's coffee. I put an Instagram post up the other day with this and his coffee, and I was like, hey, which should I taste first? And, Mick, of course, is a friend of the show. He was on a couple years ago, and we've stayed in touch. But he has his own coffee brand now, so I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I've tasted it. It's very good. I actually like it a lot. I got the little Keurig coffee cups for it, and then some other stuff. But I just really like the hat too, and I didn't feel like getting all dressed up for this video. But as I pour this, just a reminder for all of you out there in Washington D.C., I have a blind bourbon coming up November 10th on the Marine Corps' birthday. You'll find a link for that in the comment section or in the description. So I hope you'll come see me, and you'll have blindfolds, and if you get the VIP ticket, there's a chance you get to taste A.H. Hirsch from 1974, and some Pappy Van Winkle 23-year-old, and of course a lot of Prohibition era related stuff. So it's going to be an incredible time. Now, a little bit about Knob Creek 18-year-old. One of the things that, when I've talked about this, one of the things that people point out is that how they're disappointed that it is 100 proof. 100 proof Knob Creek is the standard. That's the standard proof. And they've kind of hit a home run for all of us whiskey geeks out there by doing the single barrel picks at cask strength. And I got to be honest with you, I think it's a bit of a miss for them to come out at 100 proof as well. But I may be wrong here. I may be wrong. But this is the 30th anniversary of Knob Creek. It's a limited edition product. So I know that's probably something they probably wanted to do this that was a little bit reminiscent of what they were doing in 1992. So if you think about that time frame when Knob Creek came out, it's a different time, right? It's a different time in whiskey. They couldn't give this stuff away. They had to have meetings after meetings to talk about what small batch was. So you know what? If Jim Beam wants to come out with a 100 proof 18-year-old Knob Creek to celebrate all that effort to bring bourbon back, you know what? It's not my brand. They can do it. But the whiskey geek in me, the lover of whiskey in there, would always love to see cask strength versions of Jim Beam over a 100 proofer. That being said, I always taste what's in the bottle, so I will give my honest opinion on it. So here we go. That does smell good. Does have a little bit of that kind of patented Jim Beam, like boiled peanut nose. There's some cornbread in there, a little honey. Some raisins. Like a fresh thing of raisins. You get the little packet of raisins, a little red packet of raisins. You open it and you can smell that. And like anise. There's like a hint of anise in here as well. Oh. This does not take the flavor profile that I would normally get from a Jim Beam. This is throwing me for a loop a little bit. You know, Jim Beam's one of those brands that I feel like when I taste blind and I'm trying to think about what the brand is, I feel like Jim Beam is one of those that I can guess more times than not. I would not guess this as a Jim Beam product. This is coming off to me like a little bit like a Brown Forman product. There's some molasses here. There's some banana. There's some brown sugar. While the nose definitely has a lot of those patented Jim Beam notes, which is where Knob Creek is coming from, the palate is completely different than what the nose presents. There's none of that honey there. There's none of that cornbread. But there's this rich molasses and like a bananas Foster on the palate. I'd follow that up with some like banana pudding with like wafers, like those vanilla wafers, which those are stuck in my head because was always our dessert in middle school in good old Jones, Oklahoma. They would slop the banana pudding on there, and then like these wafers would be like stuck in the middle. And looking back on it, it was some pretty gross shit, but you know, I still fondly think of those days. There's also a bit of a chocolate note here, like a dark chocolate. And the finish is pretty medium. It's not a long finish. It's not a incredibly long finish. And it finishes with a little hint of nutmeg. And I'll just kind of say, maybe because I was talking about it, maybe because I put it in my head, but I feel like this is very good whiskey. This is very, very good bourbon. I feel like there's a chance that this could have been great, like, you know, an annual BTAC release of Stag or something like that at a cask strength level. I think this was a real miss on their part, coming out at 100 proof. And I understand you get more bottles out. It's an ode to the brand itself. But I think that this could have been some very special stuff. And I say that because the nose is different than the palate, so you have some complexities there going on the bouquet, and then on the palate it's very different. You're not picking up a lot of those same notes, and there's a lot of stuff going on the palate. But that finish is that kind of like rounding measure to me of like where greatness is. Now, a lot of tasters disagree with this, and I always tell you, please, make decisions for yourself. I'm just one taster. My opinion is not the end-all, be-all. But for me, finish is so important. In this one, the finish just disappoints. This is very, very good bourbon, but I think it could have been great. I think this could have been super great. But it's just not finishing like I want it to. The flavor is all there. I love the vanilla notes I'm getting. I love the banana pudding notes I'm getting, and the molasses. But I still sticking it in my head. It's like it's not finishing like I want it to, and that happens sometimes. So, but like I said, follow other tasters. Don't listen just to my opinion. But my opinion is this is very, very good bourbon, but it could have been great. But that's going to do it for this here little tasting. If you would like to see more tastings, click that subscribe button. Hit the like button, too. Help me out. And also, I am looking for comment on what you would like to see in shorts. Not me wearing shorts, but this new genre that YouTube has created to basically compete with TikTok is my estimation. And, they're encouraging us creators to come out with more shorts. So I would like to, I'd love to know what you think would make a good short for me. Like I would like to lean outside of use this as an opportunity to lean outside of whiskey a little bit. I'd love to know what you think about that. Put it in the comment section. Also, is there a bourbon that you felt like should have been at cask strength and it would have been better? I'd love to know that as well. But hey, that's going to do it here, folks. Be safe out there. Remember, vodka sucks unless it's being used for hand sanitizer. Cheers, y'all.